This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Do you have a point of sale system you can trust, or is it a real POS? You need Shopify for retail. From accepting payments to managing inventory, Shopify POS has everything you need to sell in person. Go to shopify.com/system, all lowercase, to take your retail business to the next level today. That's shopify.com/system.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday, May 17th, 2024. Born on this date in 1902, classical music composer, conductor, and teacher John Vincent of Birmingham. Today we have child labor problems, police hiring problems, and home value growth potential. We'll also take another news review quiz. Now, that's something we've started doing on Fridays, but this Friday, I brought along a buzzer. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Federal investigators are trying to stop chicken from being sold that they say was produced by child labor at an Alabama poultry plant, reports AL.com's Amy Yerkinen. Court documents say that on May 1st, Labor Department investigators, quote, discovered oppressive child labor at Marjack Poultry in Walker County. Marjack's lawyers said the employees used forged documents and passed the E-Verify system, and that the company terminated those employees after it learned their ages. The company's representation also claimed that stopping the sale of the chicken they had produced would create an undue hardship for those who work at the plant, since they'd have to endure a shutdown. Marjack employs more than 1,000 workers at the Walker County plant. Marjack's headquarters are in Gainesville, Georgia. Incidentally, the New York Times has been reporting on an increase in the hiring of child workers who've immigrated from Mexico and Central America. If you think you've had trouble hiring positions at your business, take a peek at the personnel situation at the Birmingham Police Department. The city has a budget to pay 720 police officers, reports AL.com's Joseph D. Bryant. And on an April report, there were 296 unfilled positions. 296 badges aren't being worn right now in a city that in recent years has seen some of its highest ever homicide totals. Birmingham City Council President Darrell O'Quinn said that more emergency calls with fewer police officers has meant slower response times. Earlier this week, the City Council approved the creation of a Citizens Observer Patrol. The plan here is for up to 200 volunteers to help patrol neighborhoods and report crimes, but not make arrests. D'Angelo Hall is the president of the Birmingham Fraternal Order of Police. He said he'd rather see the city work at hiring officers than bringing in volunteers. Quote, we're having 3-year, 5-year, 9-year, and 13-year vets packing up and leaving. So obviously there are some issues there that we've got to iron out. We're trying to iron out a couple things and present a plan to the mayor's office, end quote. If you're looking to buy into a growth home market, and who isn't, there are a couple of Alabama cities, according to a study from GoBankingRates.com, that are projected to outpace the others in expected home values by 2033, reports AL.com's Warren Kulo. The study looked at areas where homes are pricing below the national median price of $333,910 and had anticipated annual growth rates higher than the projected national average of 1.7%. Now, it landed on 14 locations nationwide, and the two in Alabama were Daphne and Huntsville. Now, you can't get much farther apart than that geographically, but both are on the list. Daphne was 7th. Its homes are valued at just $5,000 below the national average, but they had an expected one-year growth rate of 3.3%, which is likely to close that gap with the average home within a year. At number 12, Huntsville's average home value is $286,064, and its projected one-year growth is 3.9%. Now, topping the nation, by the way, was Columbia, Missouri, with its average home price of $271,245 and projected yearly growth rate of 6.4%. Now, some homes there would come close to doubling up their value by 2033. Hey, we're going to take a break and then come back and do another Friday review quiz. AL.com's Lita Gore is in the hot seat this time. Stick around and see how well you've been following Alabama news.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Do you have a point of sale system you can trust, or is it a real POS? You need Shopify for retail. From accepting payments to managing inventory, Shopify POS has everything you need to sell in person. Go to shopify.com/system, all lowercase, to take your retail business to the next level today. That's shopify.com/system.
Well, thanks everybody for staying with us and coming back. For the last couple weeks, we've been doing a Friday news quiz. It's something we've done for a few months now on the Down in Alabama newsletter, and it was popular there, so we thought we'd bring it over here. It's a good way to review recent news and put people on the spot. You know, usually we'll have a staffer in, a reporter, an editor, and try to embarrass them. But, nobody's been perfect so far, so the bar's not set extremely high. So there's no pressure. But today we brought in Lita Gore. She leads an AL.com team of reporters who cover quite a wide variety of topics. Lita could be writing on something national, state, but she's Alabama, I believe, Lita, Alabama born, and you've always lived here and followed the news and covered the news the whole time. So I thought you'd be perfect to come on and take the quiz and see if you've been paying attention for the last week.
In my defense, I would like to say that, yes, I am Alabama born, educated, raised. However, this is the final 2 weeks of school, and I have a student. So I am excused from any great knowledge gaps, because if you are a parent with a child finishing school in these last 2 weeks, you're just trying to survive. So I'm going to go ahead and claim that right now. Just go ahead and say it.
Everybody's done their own version of that. We had Kent Falk last week who, he was immersed in the legislature. So, that was some crazy excuse for not knowing which catfish or which seafood dinner won a prize or something.
Oh,
but
well, that's fine. I'm claiming it.
Thanks for being a good sport. To give people an example of stuff that you've been covering, we've recently seen Red Lobster restaurants pull out of many places in the country, a lot of locations, including Alabama, apparently, even though they're kind of doing it on the down low. But am I right? They just auctioned off a couple of entire restaurants, and it looks like one went for a really low sum, if I'm reading the site right. Have you looked in on that today?
I have not checked the latest price. The last price I saw was $5,100 or $5,300. But some in California were down to $700, $800. You could buy everything in the restaurant, not the actual building, but except the liquor and the seafood. But you could buy all the equipment for, $5,100. So if you had that laying around, go buy you a restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking. This is not official, folks, or anything, or not confirmed. But I'm seeing a final bid of $8,200.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess if you turn that into a restaurant, you're liable to lose money because they often do.
Yeah, it was that was an interesting one. But some of that equipment's really expensive stuff. Now you've no recourse, like if it doesn't work or anything. Or if it smells like fish for the rest of the time you have it, you have nothing you can do. But yeah, it was expensive stuff that was going for not as expensive.
And you obviously have to have, if you buy a restaurant, you have to have money to put into it, whatever you're converting it into.
I figure a lot of people will probably buy that to resell, would be my guess. Would be somebody that would just want to flip it and resell like I was just looking, okay, here's one in California. It's $2,100 for everything in it. So very interesting stuff.
Let's get started with some questions. So, Lita, Now, some of these questions are easy, and some of them are a little more challenging. So we'll see. Now, I have mentioned the last couple of times we've done this on the show that I really wish I had a buzzer. Um, and you get to be the first person, if you get one wrong, to get buzzed.
I don't
So
like you, Ike.
I've, I hear that all the time. Uh, Lee Morgan bought the buzzers for me, by the way. So
I should have known.
all right. Question number 1. I will read the question and I will read an A answer, B, C, D. I'll try to remember to do the letters this time so you can follow along. I've messed that up in the past. I'm not a game show host, but I'm giving it a shot. The eastern indigo snake, once a common apex predator in Alabama forests, is glossy black with blue highlights, can grow 8 feet long, and has a diet that has been known to include A, coyotes, B, copperhead snakes, C, poison ivy, or D, biologists?
Um. Oh. Um. I'm going coyotes. Ah!
Yeah. I am so glad I got to use that. That's a really good guess. And I'm not sure that they've never eaten a coyote, but copperhead snakes are
Oh.
known as,
Okay.
yeah. And it's not that those are, that's not their main dining meal, but one of the upsides to these eastern indigos, which they're releasing right now into the Conecuh National Forest, and they have been for 14 years, a few at a time, is that they do eat venomous snakes. So,
Oh, okay. Well, I guarantee you one of them has eaten a coyote at one point when he was hungry. So I'm taking some credit on that one.
well, they get 8 feet long. They have eaten small gators, but
Well,
pretty little
there you
ones.
go.
All right. Question number 2. This brand's officials say that in about 3 years, it will have a visual footprint in Birmingham that'll welcome people to the city from an interstate and even from the ground for people flying into the local airport. So we're about to see this entity's logo a bunch. A, Regions Bank. B, UAB. C, Coca-Cola. Or D, Birmingham Police Department.
I know this one. It is C, Coca-Cola.
All right. And I mean, I don't know. Have you seen a Coke logo in your life? Has
A
that
few
been
times.
anywhere?
A few times. Although in my house it's Diet Coke. That's our drink of choice. So yes. But yes, I actually knew that one. I was very proud of myself.
Yeah, Diet Coke is actually past Coke as the top. I hate
Exactly.
to say the word. I hate to say the word soda, but
Yeah.
the it's the top flavor of Coke. How about that? Question number 3. Birmingham Southern College officials have said multiple buyers have expressed interest in perhaps acquiring its campus after the university closes at the end of this month. Birmingham Southern College campus. Now, it's been reported that an offer of $52 million has been made by A, Alabama A&M, B, Miles College, C, UAB, or D, Buc-ee's.
Oh, D is cool, but the answer is A, Alabama A&M.
That is correct, Alabama A&M. Now, there's also a group of HBCUs led by Miles College that is rumored to have, met and discussed possibly buying as a group, but A&M made an offer on its own. So, well done. After you get a couple right, it takes the pressure off.
Maybe. We'll see.
Question 4. Which of the following bills was passed in the Alabama House of... let me go back. I know you've been busy, and
Did you hear me groan?
yeah, they cranked through this legislative session, especially the last couple weeks. It's hard to keep up with everything, so this is understandable here. But do the best you can. Which of the following bills was passed in the Alabama House of Representatives but died when it did not come up in the Senate? In other words, this is something that is not becoming a law yet, but was a serious candidate. That's why I worded it that way. A school choice plan to allow parents to use taxpayer dollars to help pay for private school. B, a bill making filing some police reports a felony. That's B. C, a ban on Glock switches for firearms. Or D, a bill making it illegal for anyone to provide someone else with transportation to another state in order to buy a lottery ticket.
Can I get a quick recap on the first two? Just like the first couple of words.
Yeah. A was the school choice plan.
Okay.
B was false police reports, making that a felony. C was the Glock switch ban.
I'm going the school choice one.
No.
I knew it, but I kept thinking the others had passed too. Because I know the Glock switch didn't it?
No, that one died in the Senate.
My Lord. Yeah.
That's what made that so. That's what made that so difficult.
Yeah, I'm claiming on that one. I'm claiming partial victory.
That's what made it so difficult. You could follow a bill for 3 weeks, but if you miss one day.
And I knew the school choice did because I'd actually been like watching that one, but I knew the lottery ticket wasn't accurate. But oh well, we shall keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah, the school choice bill was such a high priority for the governor. Number 5. Now this one you would have just happened to see the story when it came out, but we'll give it a shot. Last month, for the first time, an underwater sighting of this creature was made and confirmed. This part's important, in Alabama Gulf waters.
Oh, a great white shark.
All right, you jumped ahead. Let me read the questions for people.
Sorry.
Let me read the questions for people following on. A was an orca. B was a great white shark. You got that. C was an oarfish. And D was sea monkeys.
Although sea monkeys would have been awesome. I did know that one. Yeah, did know that one.
They're like pythons in South Florida. Everybody dumps out their sea monkeys and they're everywhere.
Really? My mother would never let me buy those. I always wanted those, and she would not let me have them.
I remember seeing the advertisements in comic books, but I think the comic books were already old, so I never had any.
Yep. You could buy them at like Kmart in Birmingham, but she thought they were gross. Which, if you think about it, they are kind of gross. But never could have sea monkeys.
Well, the picture on the outside of the package made them look like people with webbed feet and hands.
Like mermaids, yeah. No, they were not. They were just little brine shrimp that died.
Quickly.
Yes.
All those species, by the way, are actually found in the Gulf of Mexico. I assume brine shrimp also. I don't really know. They're not big enough for me to see. I don't use them for bait, so... But the rest are found there. But the great white shark, a diver came in contact with one or saw one, took a picture, and they saw it about 10 days later. So that's
sort of, yeah.
Well, they've been caught on the coast before, but this is the first one like seen in the wild, I think.
Yeah.
Lita, you've been a great sport. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
No problem. So let's see, 3 right, 2 wrong.
3 right and 2 wrong, and nobody has been perfect yet.
I won't ask to be compared to the others because I believe the others are a little bit ahead of me, but that's okay.
That's absolutely okay. I have in mind some people to come on who I'm pretty sure are gonna flop on a couple of questions, so you won't be last for long.
Okay. We'll take it, but I want them to be asked the bill question because I guarantee you they would get that wrong too. So I demand equal questions.
It's hard now that the session is so far in the past, but we'll have to find something.
Yeah, they can revisit it and keep up with the 5,000 bills that sort of pass and then don't.
Well, thank you so much, Lita. We appreciate it. And we appreciate everybody out there for listening. We're going to be back bright and early Monday morning. Until then, y'all come on by and see what we're doing on the internet at al.com.